Stockholm Syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where hostages or victims develop emotional bonds and sympathy towards their captors. This counterintuitive response has intrigued psychologists, law enforcement, and the general public, as it highlights the complexities of human psychology in extreme situations. This article explores the origins, characteristics, and implications of Stockholm Syndrome. What is Stockholm Syndrome? Stockholm Syndrome is not classified as a formal psychological diagnosis, but rather a set of behaviors and emotional responses observed in some hostage or abusive situations. It occurs when captives begin to identify with their captors, seeing them as protectors or even allies rather than perpetrators of harm. This emotional attachment can lead victims to defend their captors or refuse to cooperate with authorities. Origins of the term Stockholm Syndrome originated from a bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1973. During a 6-day standoff, hostages held inside the bank vault began to develop an emotional connection with their captors. Remarkably, even after their release, some hostages refused to testify against the robbers and even raised funds for their legal defense. This event baffled the public and experts alike, leading to the coining of the term Stockholm Syndrome to describe this paradoxical behavior. Characteristics of Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome can manifest in various situations, such as kidnappings, hostage situations, abusive relationships, or cults. Common characteristics include emotional bonding with the captor. Victims develop positive feelings toward their captors, often seeing them as misunderstood or kind despite the harm inflicted. This bond can be a survival strategy, as aligning with the captor may increase the chances of being treated better. Negative feelings toward authorities. Hostages or victims may distrust or feel hostility towards law enforcement or others attempting to help them. This can occur because they perceive external forces as threats to their newfound bond with the captor. Dependence and gratitude. Captives may feel dependent on their captors for basic needs and protection, leading to misplaced gratitude. Acts of perceived kindness, such as providing food or allowing rest, can amplify these feelings, even when they are simply basic human needs being met under duress. Psychological explanations. Several psychological theories attempt to explain Stockholm Syndrome. Survival instinct. Bonding with the captor can be seen as a coping mechanism. By identifying with the captor, victims may feel safer and believe that cooperation could improve their chances of survival. Cognitive dissonance. Victims may unconsciously reframe their perception of the captor to reduce the psychological discomfort of being in a threatening situation. Viewing the captor positively helps reconcile the conflict between their fear and the need to endure the situation. Trauma bonding. The intense shared experience of trauma can create strong emotional bonds, even if those bonds are irrational or harmful. Implications and awareness. Understanding Stockholm Syndrome is crucial for law enforcement, mental health professionals, and anyone who may encounter victims of abuse or hostage situations. Recognizing the signs can help in developing strategies to safely extricate and support victims who may resist help due to their emotional attachment to their captors. Stockholm Syndrome underscores the complexity of human psychology and the powerful ways in which our minds can adapt to extreme situations.